on Ayin Chet Amud Aleph. So Mishnah says you throw a get in her basket, she's divorced. Even if the basket's in the husband of the husband's domain, she's divorced. The Gemara says this is like having the vessels of a buyer in the domain of the seller to make a kinyan. An example is the buyer wants oranges, the seller puts it in his basket, it's a good kinyan. Which is a question on our Gemara. In Baal Batra, it's a question if it works. Our Gemara for sure works. So the Gemara answers, we're talking about a case where the husband is a basket seller. So when she comes in, she doesn't care that it's that she puts her basket down. It's just another basket. So it's like her own personal domain. To acquire a piece of land, you can do it one of four ways. Kesef, shtar, chalipin, and chazakah. Chazakah is doing an act of ownership, like building a fence around it, breaching a fence, or locking the door. The Ketzos HaChoshen says if one is borrowing or renting a piece of land, one does not have to do a kinyan chazakah. The way it works is, all he does is when you start using it, it's a good kinyan. Ask Rabbi Chanan Wasserman on the Ketzos HaChoshen, he's going against Tosafot. Tosafot says in Baal Batra, in the Gemara, which says if she puts the basket down in the husband's domain, it's a good kinyan. So as Tosafot, she didn't make a kinyan chazakah in the area the basket's on. So you see, he even holds that if you borrow an area, you need to make a kinyan, because if using it is good enough, no question, she started using it. He wouldn't ask, where's the kinyan chazakah? Two possible ways to answer the question that Rabbi Chanan asks. The Or Sameach answers, really the Ketzos HaChoshen is right, who says, start using it and it's good. The case by get is different though. The case by get, Tosafot holds the case of our Gemara, it's against her will. So when she's getting it against her will, we know you can't make a kinyan on an area against her will. You can do it, you can give a get against her will. So since she doesn't want to receive the get, she doesn't want to acquire the area, the only way we know that she's making a kinyan on the area with her dot is by making a kinyan chazakah. Another answer brought by the Torah Marachai, the case of get was where she puts the basket down and only afterwards the husband puts the get in the basket. So when she put it down originally, she didn't have dot that she's going to make a kinyan on the area. So the only way it works is if she picks the basket back up, puts it down with the dot that she's going to make a kinyan on the area, it works. The Nesivos says the following. Our Gemara with the baskets, Tosafot holds in Baal Batra, it needs a real kinyan, a kinyan chazakah. But we know he holds in other cases that all you need to do is start using it and it works. What's the difference in Baal Batra and here? So when you borrow or rent a room, all you have in it is the right of usage. You don't get anything else. So in that case, just starting to use it is good enough. But the case of the basket in our Gemara, she wants to acquire the land for the ability to make kinyanim in it. So by that, we need to see a kinyan chazakah. So that's why he's saying in our case, we need a kinyan chazakah, and using it wouldn't work because then she can't acquire things in the chatzer. So Reb Shimon Shkop asked a bomb kash on the Nesivos. According to the Nesivos, it comes out when you rent a room to somebody, you're renting two separate things. You're renting the right of usage, which all you need to do is start using it and it works. And second, you're renting the ability to make kinyanim in it. So by that, we know you need a kinyan chazakah. But when you make a kinyan chazakah, you automatically get both. You get the right of usage, and you get the ability to acquire get in the chatzer. So ask Rav Shimon Shkop, if I sell you two objects, a cow and a sheep, and tell you go make a kinyan on both of them, all you do is make a kinyan on the cow, then none of it works. You need to do it on both. So here's the question. According to the Nesivos, if you rent a guy a room for everything, if he makes a kinyan by using it, it won't work because every time you rent a guy a room for all purposes, it's like you're renting two separate things, like the cow and the sheep. So when he just makes it by using it, it won't work because then it's like the cow and the sheep where he only did it on one. It should be nothing works. So by making a kinyan so according to the Nesivos, a kinyan to start using it will never work because he holds it's two separate kinyanim. So that's why many Gemarot seem to say using it will work. Therefore, Reb Shimon argues and says when you make a kinyan by starting to use it, you get everything. That's how it has to be. So, and then here's a Divrei Torah on Purim. It says in Megillat Esther, Lahudim Hayita Ora B'Simcha V'Sason V'Ikar. The Gemara says Ora is Torah, Simcha is holidays, Sason is Brit Milah, V'Ikar is Tefillin. Meaning, after the miracle of Purim, when Haman was killed, the Jews regained these four mitzvot they were missing. Ask the Sfat Emet, why didn't the pasuk just say these four mitzvot explicitly? Why did I have to say it in like a code form? So explain the Sfat Emet that really the Jews had all these four mitzvot when Haman was around. Haman is Amalek, and Amalek is out to destroy the holiness of the Jewish people. The inner holiness of Torah represented by Or. The inner holiness of Chagim is Simcha. The inner holiness of Brit Milah is Sason. The inner holiness of Tefillin is Yikar. After Haman was destroyed and the Jews realized the salvation came from Hashem, they regained these four mitzvot. That's why the pasuk doesn't say it explicitly, and that's why it's said in the pasuk, it's saying it in a code form. We should always to always feel the inner holiness of all the mitzvot.